Cuter ants versus wood ants. Welcome, nature enthusiasts, to another epic showdown in the miniature world. Today, we're pitting two of the most incredible ant species against each other in a battle for the ages. In one corner, we have the master agriculturists, the tireless gardeners of the insect kingdom, the leafcutter ants, and in the other corner, the formidable, acid-spraying defenders of the forest floor, the wood ants. Who would win in a hypothetical war between these two titans? Grab your magnifying glasses, because we're about to dive deep into the fascinating world of ant warfare. Let's start by getting to know our first contender, the leafcutter ant. Found in the tropical forests of Central and South America, these guys are not your average picnic pest. They are a superorganism, a city of millions, all working in perfect harmony. Their society is a marvel of efficiency. They don't eat the leaves they so famously carry. Instead, they use these plant fragments as compost to cultivate a special type of fungus, which is their primary food source. Think of them as tiny, six-legged farmers. Their colonies are massive, sometimes housing up to 8 million individuals. And within this bustling metropolis, you'll find a highly specialized caste system. There are the tiny minims, the gardeners who tend to the fungus gardens and care for the young. Then you have the slightly larger workers, the foragers who cut and carry the leaf fragments back to the nest. And finally, you have the soldiers. These are the big guns of the leafcutter world. With massive heads and powerful mandibles capable of slicing through leather, these soldiers are the colony's first and last line of defense. Their job is simple: protect the colony at all costs. Their bite is incredibly painful, and they will lock on with a bulldog-like grip. The leafcutter ant's strength lies in their sheer numbers and their incredible organization. Their underground nests are sprawling labyrinths, stretching over vast areas and featuring complex ventilation systems to maintain the perfect environment for their fungus farms. An attack on a leafcutter colony isn't just an attack on a nest. It's a siege on a fortified city. Invaders have to contend with millions of dedicated defenders, from the small but numerous workers to the heavily armored soldiers. Their defense is primarily physical, relying on brute force in overwhelming numbers to repel any threat. They are a testament to the power of cooperation. Now, let's turn our attention to the other side of the battlefield and meet our second contender, the wood ant. These ants, common in the woodlands of Europe and Asia, are equally impressive. They build large, conspicuous mound nests out of pine needles, twigs, and other forest debris. These mounds can be several feet high and serve as solar collectors, warming the colony within. Like leafcutters, wood ants live in huge colonies, often numbering in the hundreds of thousands, sometimes even forming super colonies that span entire forests. But what truly sets wood ants apart is their chemical weaponry. When threatened, these ants can spray a jet of formic acid from their abdomens with surprising accuracy. This acid is a potent irritant and can blind, incapacitate, or even kill other insects. Imagine an army equipped with millions of tiny acid cannons. That's what you're up against when you face wood ants. They don't just bite. They spray you down with a chemical weapon that can dissolve your insides. Wood ant society is also highly organized. They are aggressive predators and scavengers, actively hunting other insects and farming aphids for their sweet honeydew. They patrol their territory relentlessly, and any intruder is met with a swift and brutal response. A single wood ant might not be as physically imposing as a leafcutter soldier, but their acid spray is a game changer. They can attack from a distance, creating a chemical barrage that can break enemy formations and cause chaos. Their strategy is a mix of physical aggression and chemical warfare, making them one of the most feared predators of the insect world. So, the stage is set. On one side, we have the leafcutter ants, a massive army of farmers and soldiers, masters of fortification and physical combat, defending their vital fungus gardens. On the other side, we have the wood ants, aggressive hunters with a powerful chemical arsenal, masters of territorial control and ranged attacks. It's a classic clash of styles, the brute force defenders versus the acid-spraying aggressors. Let's imagine a scenario where these two colonies meet. Say a burgeoning wood ant colony establishes its territory near a mature leafcutter nest. Conflict is inevitable. The first skirmishes would likely occur at the borders of their foraging territories. A lone leafcutter forager, busy snipping a leaf, might suddenly find itself surrounded by a patrol of wood ants. Before it can even react, it's hit by a spray of formic acid. The acid would quickly incapacitate it, and the wood ants would carry it back to their nest as food. The leafcutter colony would quickly notice the loss of its foragers. They would respond by sending out more workers, accompanied by some of their formidable soldiers. Now we have a real battle on our hands. A squad of leafcutter soldiers, with their massive jaws, would charge the wood ant patrol. A single leafcutter soldier could easily dismember a wood ant worker in close combat. Its powerful mandibles are like shears, designed for slicing and crushing, but the wood ants wouldn't engage in a straightforward melee. They would use their superior mobility and ranged attacks to their advantage. As the leafcutter soldiers advance, the wood ants would retreat, spraying formic acid as they go. The acid would create a chemical minefield. The leafcutter soldiers, while heavily armored, are not immune to the acid. It would burn their antennae, disrupt their ability to communicate, and could even blind them. A blinded soldier, no matter how strong, is a much less effective fighter. The wood ant strategy would be one of hit and run. They would swarm, spray, and retreat, slowly whittling down the leafcutter numbers. The leafcutter's strength is in close quarters combat, but the wood ants would do everything they can to avoid that. They'd use their acid to break up the leafcutter formations and create confusion. However, the leafcutters have a massive advantage. Their numbers. For every soldier the wood ants take down, there are thousands more ready to take its place. And the leafcutters are not just going to sit back and let their foragers get picked off. They would escalate. The conflict would move from the foraging grounds to the nests themselves. Imagine the wood ants launching a full-scale assault on the leafcutter nest. They would face a fortress. The entrances to the leafcutter nest are heavily guarded by the largest soldiers. The wood ants would have to fight their way through a gauntlet of snapping jaws just to get inside. As they pour into the tunnels, they would be met with a tide of defenders. The narrow confines of the tunnels would partially negate the wood ants' ranged advantage. It would become a brutal, close-quarters slugfest. Inside the tunnels, the sheer size and power of the leafcutter soldiers would be a deciding factor. They could block passages with their massive heads and use their mandibles to crush any wood ant that tries to get past. The battle would become a gruesome war of attrition, with bodies piling up on both sides. The wood ants' acid would be less effective in the crowded, poorly ventilated tunnels, and they would be forced into the kind of direct combat where the leafcutter soldiers excel. But the wood ants have a super weapon of their own. If they could penetrate deep enough into the nest, they could target the leafcutter's most precious resource, the fungus gardens. A few sprays of formic acid in the fungus chambers could be catastrophic. The acid could kill the delicate fungus, effectively starving the entire leafcutter colony. This is the leafcutter's ultimate vulnerability. Their entire civilization is built on this single food source. If it's destroyed, the colony is doomed. So, the wood ant's objective would be clear: bypass the soldiers and get to the fungus. The leafcutter's objective is equally clear: defend the fungus gardens at all costs. This is where the smallest caste of leafcutter ants, the minims, might play a surprising role. While they can't fight, they would work frantically to repair any damage to the fungus gardens and move the precious fungal cultures to safer, deeper chambers. Let's consider the reverse scenario: the leafcutter ants attacking the wood ant mound. The leafcutters are not typically aggressive invaders, but if their food source was threatened, they would go on the offensive. A massive army of leafcutter workers and soldiers marching on a wood ant nest would be a terrifying sight. The wood ant's mound, while large, is not the underground fortress that the leafcutter nest is. It's more exposed. As the leafcutters swarm the mound, the wood ants would mount a furious defense. They would pour out of the nest, spraying formic acid in every direction. The air would become thick with the stinging chemical. The leafcutters would suffer heavy casualties in the initial assault. Their advance would likely be slowed, even halted, by the chemical barrage. However, the leafcutters' sheer numbers would be hard to stop. They would climb over the bodies of their fallen comrades, a relentless wave of biting jaws. If they managed to breach the mound, the battle would move inside. Just like in the leafcutter nest, the close quarters would favor the larger, stronger leafcutter soldiers. They would tear through the wood ant workers and soldiers, their powerful mandibles making short work of the smaller ants. The wood ant's queen is their colony's heart. If the leafcutters could find and kill her, the wood ant colony would collapse. The battle would be a race against time. Can the wood ants repel the invaders with their acid before the leafcutters can overwhelm them with numbers and brute force? So, who is the ultimate winner? It's incredibly close, and it really depends on the specifics of the encounter. If the battle is fought in open territory or at the wood ant nest, the wood ants have a significant advantage. Their formic acid spray is a devastating weapon that can neutralize the leafcutter's numerical and physical superiority from a distance. They could likely win a war of attrition by conducting raids and disrupting the leafcutter's foraging operations, slowly starving them out. However, if the wood ants are forced to invade the leafcutter fortress, the tables turn dramatically. The leafcutter nest is a death trap. The narrow tunnels, the overwhelming number of defenders, and the sheer power of the leafcutter soldiers in close combat would make a successful invasion almost impossible. The leafcutters, fighting on their home turf to defend their precious food source, would be nearly unbeatable. So, the final verdict: it's a strategic stalemate. The wood ants are the superior offensive force, capable of raiding and chemical warfare. The leafcutter ants are the ultimate defensive force, masters of fortification and siege warfare. Neither could likely wipe out the other completely. A war between them would be a long, brutal affair with no clear winner, leaving both colonies weakened and vulnerable. It just goes to show that in the world of ants, there's more than one way to be a superpower. Whether it's through farming and fortification or hunting and chemical weapons, these tiny creatures have evolved incredible strategies for survival. The battle between leafcutter ants and wood ants is a perfect example of the endless and fascinating arms race of the natural world. What do you think? Who would you bet on in this epic insect showdown? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We love reading your theories and insights. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of ant warfare, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing content about the incredible animal kingdom. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.